Reds? Welcome back to another episode of Liverpool Latest. I'm your host, Matt. Thanks for joining me on today's edition of the show. If you enjoy what you're watching, be sure to leave some sort of rating, a like, whatever the platform allows you to do. Also, comment your thoughts down below if the platform allows it as well. And most importantly, hit that subscribe button, because why would you want to miss out on content like this every single day? Let's get right to it, shall we? Because I got a lot to talk about. First and foremost, probably the biggest bummer of the list of news I have for today is Federico Chiesa. The poor guy apparently has an injury, and because of said injury, he is set to miss out on international duty for Italy, which sucks because while it might look minor on the surface as far as the international side goes, for us, it's just another list, man. It's just another name on the list. God, the names on the list of people that are injured is looking as bad as the amount of people who tried to face the Undertaker throughout the 90s and 2000s during WrestleMania to defeat the streak. That is what this list is looking like. It sucks. All in all, I'm absolutely gutted for him. I was really looking forward to seeing what he can do. I was hoping that he would have a pretty statement performance for the most part. So, as someone that supports Chiesa and sympathizes with his position on the team, this injury could not have come at an absolute worst time for him. Now, what's even worse for us is because we already are limited on the attack. Very limited, as a matter of fact. We have no Salah, no Ekitike, Isak is still waiting to return, and now Chiesa, who was typically one of our, maybe last-minute options for slot, but he's still an option to put out in front if need be, and unfortunately now he is out. I am not sure what the disclosed injury is. All I know is that unfortunately it was reported earlier this morning that was indeed the case. So it's an absolute bummer because in 2 weeks the FA Cup match with Man City's coming up, and at this rate I am expecting to get absolutely dog-walked. All right? We have no one. We have absolutely no one to counter City right now. And City's not the best side. They've been able to beat us, yes, but they have been very inconsistent in their own right all season, hence why they're sitting a little bit further down in second place compared to Arsenal. It's just a stroke of bad luck at times. And the fact that we now no longer have options or are having less and less options, I am very concerned, to say the least, in regards to what our attack is going to look like. So, not only that, PSG too. I'm talking about FA Cup, man. The Champions League. Oh, good God. I'm hoping that it's nothing serious, but apparently it's serious enough where he can't be on international duty for the next 2 weeks. I hope he heals up enough where it's not too bad, but I don't expect it, to be fair with you. So, next up, I have some discussion in regards to Xabi Alonso. Now, I remember talking about earlier a few days ago or a day or so ago about me meeting somebody in a bar, and he was a Liverpool fan, and we were talking about the team and the state of the team, and it looks like he also agrees with me in some regard that Xabi Alonso should be the next manager for Liverpool. And it seems as though the more and more I see about it, he's getting linked to the team. And in this case, the speculation is intensifying due to the fact that Sebastian Parilla, who is Alonso's assistant, has allegedly contacted both Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong in regards to asking about life at Liverpool, dressing room atmosphere, and the overall club environment. Now, as some might see this as a casual conversation, and of course, others might see this as a way of exploring options and seeing what's going on with the club, so that potentially an opening might come up sooner rather than later. Wirtz allegedly reportedly open to or prefers Alonso at Liverpool, and that is a pretty big deal because Florian Wirtz is probably one of our bigger premier signings. If you ask me, like the list of options as far as who we've signed, I'd say it's like, and this is in no particular order. This is just like top three for me personally. Has been Ekitike, Wirtz, and oh god, it's either between Kirkes or Frimpong. I would say Isak, but Isak hasn't played. But the fact that Wirtz, who is one of our more performative signings in, well, not recently, but in the last season, the fact that he's openly or allegedly openly saying something like this is a shock, to say the least. And clearly, it looks like sooner rather than later, when Arne Slot should, that's the key word, should be relieved of his duties, Xabi Alonso, who's happily sitting there on the unemployment line, waiting for his turn, is right there. The timing of it could not be better. And the pressure could not be more heavy on Slot. And I can imagine that this poor guy, regardless of how I feel about him as a manager, is still a human being. The amount of stress he's probably under at this moment in time is probably astronomical, considering that his job is more or less on the line based on where we place in the table. The team is consistently fluctuating in momentum. And last but certainly not least, the media and the fans are having constant scrutiny and backlash, myself included, in regards to his style of play and his coaching style. So it looks to me that to some, that this might be one of the stronger signals that Xabi Alonso could be considering Liverpool as the manager in the near future, and there might just be some early groundwork being laid behind the scenes so that this could come to fruition. And I, for one, cannot wait for that to happen. Another thing that I can't wait for happen is the idea of Cody Gakpo being on the unemployment line, because Gakpo has been absolutely dog shit for us all season. And again, this is purely on his style of playing on the field, not him as a person. I am sure he is very lovely as a man, and I'm sure he has a wonderful family. I think he does have a family, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, my point is that the way he's been playing this season has been not up to par to what he has done in previous years, especially last year. Last year, he did a phenomenal job. And whatever is going on this year is clearly not working for him. And it's gotten to the point where fans are very, very sick of him on the pitch, especially considering he seems to get consistent starts despite never really having any impact on the attack. So if Arne Slot is putting players in the starting 11 based on merit, which has been reported, why is Cody Gakpo consistently starting? That I ask you. I don't know why I fucked that up, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's shocking to me. Now, it seems as though with the Xabi Alonso rumors, the Anthony Gordon rumors from Newcastle have continued to spread a little bit in the stance where he's having a very good season. He's the joint second top scorer in the Champions League, which I believe Newcastle are no longer a part of the Champions League, if I'm not mistaken, or at least they're down in the Champions League. I can't recall, to be honest with you. With 10 goals. He has a direct, high-intensity winger player playing style, which definitely fits the Premier League demands as of right now. And he's a former Liverpool academy player who also developed at Everton. So the difficulty with this whole idea is that Newcastle don't want to sell Gordon. I mean, after all, we stole Isak from them. Why would they want to sell us Gordon? If the price is right, maybe. There's always a price. After all, sports is a business. There is always a price tag. But Newcastle are clearly trying to keep whatever semblance of competitiveness they have left after losing Isak in the summer. So obviously that means Liverpool have to pay a astronomical fee, and that is something that I'm not sure we can afford at this point in time, considering that $500 million in the summer does not get us remotely close to a top 4 position in the table. So, that said, I think Gakpo may leave during the summer. If Slot is gone, Gakpo is gone. That's my call, without a shadow of a doubt. Do I think Gordon's going to be the guy to get after Gakpo is gone? Yes. Do I think it'll happen? Most likely not, because I don't see Newcastle trying to sell anybody at this point in time, or at least no one of worth to them as far as a star player goes, especially one on the attack after losing the likes of Alexander Isak. Not that it's been a huge loss to them right now because he's been injured for most of the season, but you know what I'm trying to say. Hopefully he picks it up a notch when he comes back from injury and proves all the doubters wrong. But that is yet to be known. Allegedly, what is also yet to be known is the idea of racism, allegedly. Seems like in the midst of the Galatasaray debacle that has unfolded since that one fateful night at Anfield, Galatasaray fans have been coping, for lack of better terms. And their way of coping is spreading racism and hate towards one of our players, Ibrahima Konate, who has been the subject of conversation in regards to a couple of injuries that took place to Gala's team on the field. Now, I did not watch the match. I can't tell you what happened. I'm not going to sit here and be an expert on the subject. What I will say is the fact that there were comments being made racism-wise towards Konate, regardless of a result in a football match, is wrong and should not have to take place in any way, shape, and form. Allegedly, according to Galatasaray, though, and Ire Yazgan, who I don't know if he's a reporter or some member of the team as far as the organization goes, but the claims have been that Liverpool have not apologized for the injuries caused to their players and have tried to, quote-unquote, cover up the incident. Apparently, Gala has taken actions for a compensation claim for UEFA and considering legal action if unresolved. And they called the situation a scandal. Now, what's even more shocking to me is the claims of the racism being thrown in Konate's direction being imaginary. Let me ask you this. If there are posts online directed towards Konate that are in writing, apparently this was taking place on social media, so it's in writing, it's happening as we speak right now, at that moment in time. And you have proof that it is happening, because when it comes to screenshots and the internet, everything lives forever no matter what you fucking say. How could you go as far as to be so stupid to say that the claims of racism hurled towards your players is imaginary? Let that sink in for a second. Sunken? Good. How stupid do you have to be to believe that bullshit? This is the worst. This is the worst example of copium I have seen in football in quite some time. This is, I don't know if it's a cultural thing over there. This is not meant to be a cultural attack, but I'm not sure if it's a cultural thing in the country of Turkey. But the fact that you are actively denying that your supporters are throwing racism to a player of one, a different skin color, two, a different nationality and country. I mean, and it's online, which is forever. And players and the people and the supporters of Gala have been actively denying this is happening. I have seen posts. I have talked about it on this show. There are people actively denying that this is happening when it's clear as day, and Liverpool have already condemned it on social media. So you know it's true. You know it's a thing. But you sit here and pretend like it's not happening. I cannot. This is a level of copium that I'm not even capable of understanding. The fact that you are using, the fact that one, racism is being used, which is fucked up in its own right, and two, you are denying that the racism is taking place to begin with when it's clearly a trail of it leading to your supporters. Whether they're trolls or not, who knows? But either way, it still doesn't excuse the fact that it happened. So, sickening. Very sickening and very disgusting from Galatasaray as an organization and as as club supporters, because you guys are absolutely, you're left field when it comes to this shit. You are absolutely out of your goddamn minds. I don't know how you sit here and excuse this, but that's a different story for a different time. We here at Liverpool Latest condemn these actions as anyone with a proper mind should. And with that being said, thank you for joining me today on the show. I appreciate you being here. As always, thank you to my friends at FanArch for being such great supporters as well as partners in this endeavor that I am in with them. If you enjoy the video, be sure to leave a rating of any sort and comment your thoughts down below. I would love to know what you guys think about this particular situation, especially the Gallo one. And last but not least, please be sure to follow the show, share the show. I would love to grow the community, and I would hope that you would join me in this endeavor as we continue, to produce quality Liverpool content every single day. So, know that when you join the Liverpool Latest family, you will never walk alone, and I will see you on the next one.